Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Slightly different time, slightly different day. So Tuesday at 4:30. If you're joining live, then welcome. If you're on catch up, then an equal welcome to you as well. We usually do this at 2:30 in the afternoon. So it's nice, nice vibe in here today. Nice dark and outside, and hopefully I've got the lighting right. We've got some little twinkling lights because it's nearly Christmas, everybody. And we all probably need a little bit of cheering up and grounding. So if you've joined us, then welcome. I'm just going to put the comments here. Good afternoon to you, Sue, as well. Second time in a day. Thank you for supporting the Royal Voluntary Service in the Virtual Village Hall. So find a comfortable seat. We'll probably spend a little bit of time here at the start just to ground ourselves and to get into the space, get into the body, and just to pay a little bit of attention to the breath. And when we pay attention to the breath, then, hey, that's true yoga, isn't it? We think about our yoga. If we break the practice down, it's about paying attention to the breath and paying attention to the physical body. And that ultimately brings us into the present moment. So instead of thinking about the past or projecting to the future, we come right here to the heart center. And that's the only thing that matters, right? So we all don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what's going to happen next week, what's going to happen in January. No one knows. So there's no point in trying to project. And I know that human nature is, we'll project. What if we do this? What if that happens? What if this happens? Try and get to this space. So remember, the last few weeks I've been talking about getting out of here and trying to get into here. And the beautiful thing about yoga is that we don't need anything else. We don't need any external stimulus, and we don't need to, go out and pay for it. Probably you need to pay for it. You don't need to pay for it, do you? This is free. You can donate. That's a beautiful thing. But we can come back time and time again. And we create this. You're creating it. I'm not creating it. I'm just guiding you, But you create this. It's all within you. And that's a really, really empowering thing, and probably something that I love about yoga, and hopefully share my passion with you. And we can breathe and we can move together. So welcome to Irene and Mandy as well. Really lovely to have you with us. So find that comfortable seat. I will just move back maybe a little bit here. If you want to sit on something, feel free to sit on something. I'm on a bolster. You might not be able to see that, but draw some length into your spine. So instead of sitting here, where this is probably what our normal posture is like, we're on our devices, back of the neck gets crunched, the belly spills forward a little bit and the shoulders round, and they're like, but you haven't got a lot of room to breathe in. So bring that intention into the spine, feel the heart center lift, and then there's loads of room in your beautiful belly to breathe into. And let's do that. Let's place the right hand on the navel center. Left hand can just remain nice and relaxed, palm up or palm down. And then take some nice deep inhales into your belly. Really fill it up. Pushing the belly out. Be proud of your belly. Big Buddha belly. And then exhale. Feel the belly fall back to the spine. So we're just bringing that conscious breathing in. Nice deep inhale. And then full exhale. And as you take the exhale, make sure you're exhaling all of the breath out. Habitually, we hold on to a little bit of breath. So inhaling. Exhaling. 3 more like that. Deep inhale. Fill the belly like a balloon. Full exhale. Navel falls back towards the spine. 2 more. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Here's your last one. Deep inhale. And then your fullest exhale. Beautiful. And then just bring both hands onto your knees. Let's try this. Bring the thumb and the forefinger together. Maybe close the eyes if they weren't closed already, and then just check in. Just notice what you're noticing. So, just breathing like that, deep inhales, full exhales, it can change our physiology. It can change the way we feel. It can bring peace and calm into the body. If you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed, the breath is always there. And then if your eyes are closed, just gently bring the eyes open. And hey, your yoga practice, it doesn't have to be super serious, It doesn't have to be like oh, I need to have this body to new yoga. I need to be really flexible. I need to be really beautiful. And the mind tells you all the reasons why. You don't need any of that. You just need this beautiful thing, this vessel that kind of guides you through the day. So I'm going to move back onto my mat. If you want to bring your feet out about hip width apart, and then you can just begin to drop the knees down to either side. So let's do this. There's the twinkling lights. I'm going to move my blanket off to the side. I should have said that at the start, if you want to have a blanket. So your feet are here, you're leaning back into the arms, and you're just dropping the knees to either side. Move as slowly or as fast as feels right for your body. And then something I always like to encourage is just meeting your body where it is. It ain't got to go anywhere. Wherever you are today is perfect. So we try and get rid of that kind of like idea that it needs to be a certain thing, or I need to do a certain posture, or I need to get into a certain depth of a posture. No, you don't. You really don't. You just move in the body here, getting into the outer hips, moving the hips from side to side, the legs and the knees drop down. We're paying attention and we're doing yoga together. That's a good thing. And sometimes yoga makes me smile. I'm feeling quite smiley today. Even if you're not feeling smiley, bring a little smile onto your face. Beautiful. And then come back to center. Cross the legs. So this is easy pose, which is probably a little bit, not a great description because it's not the easiest pose to come into. And draw a little bit of length back into your spine. So you might have been sat here at the start. You might have returned to this position, or it might be the first time that you've done it. Feel free to sit on something. You can place a blanket underneath the hips, or a bolster, or a block. And then from here, all we're going to do is you're going to gently close the eyes, only if it feels safe. If you want to keep the eyes open, that's great. And then just begin to rotate the head. So maybe just making small circles, rotating the head. And think about drawing circles with the nose. So the nose lifts, and then the nose drops, chin drops down to the sternum. If everything feels okay, then feel free to make the circles a little bit bigger. But you don't have to. Any areas of tension. Sometimes I get here and I'm like, whoa, I need to breathe into the back of my neck. So I'll pause, and then I'll start the circle again. And then make the circles a little bit smaller. And then come back the other way. Start small, moving the neck in the opposite direction. Eyes are closed or the gaze is soft. And then maybe make them a little bit bigger. Matching the movement with breath. So try and inhale as you come up. And then the full exhale as you come down. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. And then make the circles a little bit smaller. The tension in the jaw is now evaporated. Everything's loose. And then come all the way back to center. Lift the head. Take a deep inhale here. And then your fullest exhale through the mouth. One more like that. Nice deep inhale through the nose. And then your fullest exhale through the mouth. Beautiful. With the hands on the knees, palms are face down. Inhale the shoulders up. Exhale the shoulders down. If you can, in and out through the nose. As you exhale the shoulders down, drop the shoulder blades down the back so you let go of any tension. So we just work a little bit here on opening the shoulders up, working into the back of the neck, working into the upper spine, the lower spine, areas where we become tight. And when we're feeling tense, when we're feeling anxious and overwhelmed, habitually, these are the areas that get tight. So this is a lovely way just to physically move that tension out. Inhale the shoulders up, exhale the shoulders down, and then just come back to a nice steady rhythm. And we think about our mind, and isn't it amazing? When we want to change what we're thinking, when we want to change what's going on in our mind, then what we do is we change the energy in the body. So we kind of think this thing is not linked to this thing. My body is not linked to my head. Yoga is union, it brings it all together. So when we're feeling down and when we're feeling low, or when we need to kickstart our energy, then we move the body physically, and then we change what's going on up here. That's the power of yoga. It's like a yoga advert, isn't it, my class? All right, I've forgotten where we were going to go next. I definitely did have a plan where we were going to go. And I distracted myself. All right, so we just did the shoulder shrugs. We were going to get into the neck. So what you're going to do, you're going to bring the right arm up and then cross it over the body. And then with the left arm, just grab onto the tricep or just hold onto the tricep and then bring the arm in towards the chest. So you feel this stretch into the upper arm and hopefully into the shoulder, and then breathe deeply here. You don't have to do anything else. Stretch out through the fingers, find that spread through the fingers. You might want to be here. You might just hug the arm in a little bit more, and then breathe deeply. Nice deep inhales, full exhales. Beautiful. One more deep inhale, and then your fullest exhale. And then we'll just swap to the other side. Maybe just shake the arms out and then bring the left arm across and then just clasp onto the right tricep, lengthen the arm. That's weird. My left arm doesn't straighten as much as my right, but I broke my elbow a few years ago, so probably that's why. Breathe deeply here. You're thinking about that length in the spine. Sit bones are pressing down into the floor, and you're just using the breath to open the body. Nice. One more deep inhale. And then a full exhale. You can bring the hands down, give them a little shake. And then moving into the wrist, bring the arms out. And then the fingers are now clasped. So you're going to inhale, stretch the fingers out. Exhale, bring the fingers in. And you can always have the thumb tucked on the outside, or you can alternate. So you can have the thumb on the outside and then the thumb on the inside. You just move really quickly, as fast as you can. Probably feeling a little burn into the forearms. That's all right. We're building strength and dexterity. And then give the hands a shake. Shake them out. And then do this one. The arms are out. And then just rotate the wrists in one direction. Nice, slow, big circles. A little look at your wrists. See what's going on. So my right one, it behaves nicely. My left one doesn't behave as well. So you check out these imbalances in the body and then come back the other way. Arms are nice and straight. Shoulder blades are relaxed. Tension in the spine. Beautiful. And then come back to center and give the hands a bit of a shake. Beautiful. Nice work. Flatten the left palm down. We're just going to keep moving. Inhale, right arm to the left. And then exhale, left arm to the right. So this nice movement side to side. I like doing this one, especially when I've got the clock behind me. It's like clock yoga. Nice. Inhale left. And then exhale right. Inhale left. And then exhale right. Keep that movement going. You just work at a pace that feels good for you. You don't have to match my speed. You might want to go quicker. You might want to go slower. Inhale left. Exhale right. Just feel the connection of your sit bones down into the mat. Make sure you're not doing this where everything starts to lift and you're really muscling into it. Working with the breath. Three more either side. That's probably more than three, isn't it? Inhale the top arm down. Press the fingertips into the floor. Take a nice deep inhale. Full exhale through the mouth. Then we're going to do lion's breath. So this is where we stick the tongue out and we exhale through the mouth. It's a bit of fun, but it's a beautiful release of energy. So take a deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale, stick your tongue out. Do that one more time. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, roar it out. Nice work. We'll do one more thing here, and then we'll come on to all fours. So bring the hands onto the front shin, and then you're going to inhale the chest forward, and then exhale round. Do it nice and slowly. So inhale, lift the heart center, and then exhale round into the spine. There's not a huge amount going on in my arms. If I move my arms, I can do this movement, or move my hands, should I say. The movement's coming from the navel. Inhale, let the belly spill forward, heart center lifts. Exhale, round into the spine. Inhale forward, exhale round. And then if you wanted to speed it up a little bit, feel free. It doesn't have to be a big movement. You're just rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards, and this is a lumbar spine movement. So areas of the body that become tight, and sometimes we suffer from, tightness in the lumbar spine or pain in the lumbar spine. Any pain, you got to stop. And we never push through pain. It can be challenging. Challenging is good. Pain is bad. Nice. And then from here, just keep this movement going. Bring the hands onto the knees. And now because the arms come into play just a little bit, the chest broadens. You might feel that stretch all the way up the spine. Inhale forward, exhale round. So this is the kind of movements we were doing in back care week. I think that was probably in October, maybe in November. Hopefully they were useful for you in their movements that you can come back to time and time again. Nice. Let's do 3 more. Inhale forward. And then full exhale. Nice. Come on to all fours. If you want to here, feel free. You can always place the blanket underneath your knees. I'm going to do that today just because it's a nice thing to do, especially if your knees are a bit sore. If you've got a jumper or a pillow or anything like that, feel free to place it underneath. And then come on to all fours. Spread out through the fingers. Nice. So if you see my spine, it's nice and long. So I'm not here and I'm not here. I'm pressing through my arms, pressing through my fingers, spreading out through the fingertips. And my knees are stacked right below my hips. So again, I'm not here and I'm not here. Nice. So we just did that movement, which was like a cat and cow. And now we'll do this in a more formal way. So inhale, drop the belly down, lift the head and the heart. Exhale, round into the spine. Inhale forward. Exhale, round. Just work at a pace that feels good for you. Three more. Inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, just split the knees a bit wider, big toes touch, and then come into child's pose. Now, especially on this first one, I've got cramp in my foot. Especially on, I can't do this. All right. Bring the sit bones back onto the heels if you can. You might be here, and that's cool. It's not a problem. Walk the hands forward, and then just let the head drop. If you do have that issue, and it's not probably an issue, but if your spine isn't playing ball and you can't get the heels down, do this. Place a blanket underneath, in between your sit bones and your heels, and then you've just got this lovely activation. You're pressing down onto something, and then you can be here. If everything's still lifting, place the head on the hands. So whatever feels good for you. Lengthen the arms out, and then maybe just rock from side to side. Just move the body. Child's pose, lovely pose to come into. Maybe walk the hands over to the right. Take a few breaths here down the left-hand side. Make sure the head is protected. And then walk back to center. And then come to the other side. And then walk all the way back to center. And then the hands just walk back towards the knees. Press into the palms. And then come back to all fours. Feel free to stay on your blanket, or you can remove it. I'm going to remove mine now because we're going to do a little balance. So from all fours, we'll move through a few versions of this. You're going to inhale the right leg back. Nice. And find that activation. Nice instruction here is, imagine you're pressing this right foot into the wall behind. So your foot's not like this, it's not like this. You feel the all four corners pressing into your imaginary wall. And then this might be good for you. If you feel a little bit wobbly, just gaze down to the top of your mat. If you wanted to, you can bring the left arm forward. If I could see you, I would say everybody looks beautiful. So I'm going to use my imagination. Everybody looks beautiful. Nice. And then exhale everything down. Have a little wriggle through the hips. Maybe swing the hips from side to side. Maybe do some big hip circles or little hip circles. And then come back to the other side and lengthen out through that left leg this time. Take a couple of breaths. Feel that activation all the way through the leg. Spread out through the fingertips. Breathe deeply. And then if you wanted to, sweep the right arm forward. So you find that kind of bow action across the body. If you feel wobbly and you're here, just look down to the front edge of your mat. Everybody looks great. I'm sure you all do. Deep inhales, full exhales. It's been such an amazing privilege to teach this class this year. Love doing it. And the plan is that I will return in the new year. One more deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Bring the right hand down to meet the left. And then from here, you're going to tuck the toes under. You're going to lift the hips. And you're going to come into downward facing dog. And while you guys are in down dog, I'm just going to do a little bit of talking. I'm going to come out of my down dog. I'm going to check the comments. So maybe bend into one knee, bend into the other. Breathe in deeply here. So you're just pedaling the legs out. You can swing the head from side to side nice and gently. Shake the head, yes. Shake it, no. I'm doing my imagination that I can see you all. Nice, everyone. And then find some stillness. And then keep a little bend in the knees or a generous bend in the knees. So let's just do that little bit. Bending into the knees. Take one more deep inhale. And then a full exhale, bring the knees down onto your mat. So you can sit back onto your heels or you can sit cross-legged. And we're going to come back into downward facing dog in a moment. That lights a little bit, isn't it? That's better. But let's just have a look at downward facing dog again. Because it's a hard one, especially when you invert yourself and I'm giving you all these instructions and then suddenly it's like, oh, I don't really know what I'm doing here. So let me show you two versions of down dog. So I lift my hips. Now I'm tight in the hamstrings or tighter in the hamstrings. So if you have a look at my heels, I can't get them down to the floor. Now I can try my damnedest, I can really try and get them down. They're not going to go. My legs are nice and straight here, but for me, it doesn't work in my lower spine. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking to lengthen my spine. So watch what happens. If I bend into my knees, press into my hands, you see my spine lengthens. If I lengthen my legs, you see this little bow in my back. I don't want that. I want this. So I draw my navel back towards the spine. You see how activated my arms are. So I'm not here and I'm not here. You see this a lot where people are too far back. So you find the appropriate depth. Feet are about hip width apart. Bend into the knees. And then you can really find that length in the spine. And then the head is nice and loose. So I'm going to drop down onto my heels. And then you guys can come back into it. So on your next inhale, lift your hips. And then come into downward facing dog. Nice. Spread out through the fingertips. So the fingertips are spread out. Imagine getting the fingers as wide as you can. And then breathe deeply here. And you're thinking about your weight. And so the balance wants to be right at the top of the V. You're in inverted V shape. So the balance wants to be kind of around this area. Not too much in the arms, not too much into the legs. But it takes time. So be patient. And this is a proof that yoga is not just about strength and flexibility. It's about engagement. So we're trying to find that engagement that works for us. One more deep inhale. And then your fullest exhale. And then very gently, as slowly as you can, walk the hands back towards the feet. And then just hang in a standing forward fold. So your feet might be a little bit wider than hip width. Maybe you could bring the hands onto the knees. Just swing around a little bit here. resist the temptation to muscle into it and try and come down with really straight legs. You don't need to do this. Bend into the knees. Let the hands just come down. If the hands are still dangling, bring them onto the calves or the shins or the knees, or hang in ragdoll so you can grab onto opposite elbows. And then you just come back to your beautiful breath. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. You're breathing in, you're breathing out. You're in the present moment. You're curious about how your body works, but you're not striving for anything different. You're coming out of your head right into your heart space. You're appreciating yourself fully. That's true yoga. It's not about what it looks like. And then from here, if your hands are in ragdoll, bring them down just towards the feet or down by the feet. Bend deeper into the knees. Go really deep. Roll all the way up. Press into all four corners of the feet and then come all the way up to stand. Nice. Beautiful. And then walk to the top of your mat. I'm just going to move my mat slightly because my head is getting cut off a little bit. That's nice. All right. And then line your feet up with the top edge of your mat. And stand in your Tadasana. This is your mountain pose. So you can just have the palms just down by the hips facing forward. Have a look at your feet. So it's a common kind of alignment issue where the feet do this, they spin out, and then it throws your hips out. So line the feet up the long edges of your mat. I like to go hip width apart. It gives you more room to fold into. Sun salutations. So this is where we're going to move with the breath. So hands come to heart center. Take a deep inhale, sweep the arms up, and then a full exhale, come into your forward fold. Again, remember the bend in the knees. You want to eliminate the gap between the chest and the thighs. Take the pressure out of the spine and the top of the hamstrings. On your next inhale, lengthen the spine, come up halfway. Drop the belly down, maybe a little bend in the knees. Roll the shoulder blades back, gaze is just down to the floor. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step first your right foot and then your left foot back. And then on your next inhale, just lengthen into your plank. Breathe deeply here. Think about your hands again. Spread out through the fingers. Tuck the navel back towards the spine. Press into the outer edge of the feet. You can always move around. Try not to be here. Try not to be here. So you really got to engage through the legs, through the toes, all the way up into the shoulders. Nice. Everybody drop the knees. And on the next exhale, keep the elbows tucked by the body. So look at your elbow creases, the inside of your elbows. Point them forward so you just rotate internally, just slightly, and then lower to the floor. It allows you to keep the elbows tucked just by your body. When you arrive here, press the feet into the floor. Take an inhale, raise the chest, come into a little cobra. Look how much my elbows are bent. I'm not trying to come up too high. I'm staying nice and low. Tops of the feet press into the floor to stabilize the back. As you exhale, press back to all fours, then lift your hips and come into downward facing dog. Nice. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Let's try that lion's breath again. Deep inhale through the nose. Full exhale, stick your tongue out through the mouth. One more like that. Deep inhale through the nose. And a full exhale, lion's breath. From here, bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands. On this first one, we'll take it nice and easy. Just step the feet up. Maybe come right up onto the fingertips. 3, 4, 5 steps. When you arrive, take an inhale and lengthen your spine. I bring my hands up onto the outside of my knees because I can roll my shoulders back. Some people are on the floor, some people are on the thighs. Full exhale, folding. Press into your feet. Inhale, reverse swallow dive. Bring the arms out nice and wide. Come all the way up to stand. And exhale, bring the hands to heart center. So it's probably a very slow sun salutation. We'll do 2 more, and we're going to move 1 movement, 1 breath. So every movement has a breath involved in it. So this is sun salutation A. This is probably the most popular. Feet are hip width apart, line them up the long edges of your mat. Hands at heart center. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold in low. Nice. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Come up halfway. Exhale, hands down, step 1 foot back and then the other. Take a deep inhale just to lengthen into your plank. And then exhale, drop the knees, keep the elbows tucked by the side of the body, lower to the floor. Inhale, bring the chest up and through, roll the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Nice, little bend in the knees or a big one. Deep inhale. full exhale, your deepest inhale, and your fullest exhale. Nice. Bend the knees, hinge the hips up between the hands. And then this time, probably just step to the top of your mat. One foot and then the other. Try and do it really lightly, like a ballet dancer. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Press into the feet. Inhale, reverse swallow dive. Come all the way up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. I was laughing because I'm never going to be a ballet dancer. Inhale up. Exhale, fold in low. Swallow dive down. Nice. Inhale to lengthen the spine. Exhale to drop the palms. Step one foot back and then the other. Inhale here to lengthen. Exhale to lower. Inhale, come through into your cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Lengthen the spine. Deep inhale. Full exhale, head is really loose here. And then bend into the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands, gently step to the top of your mat, flow in here. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold in low, press into the feet. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. And then exhale, frame your hands at your beautiful heart center. And then just pause here, hands at heart center. Breathe in deeply. Nice. Maybe close the eyes. You know, if you close the eyes, see if you can engage into all four corners of your feet. Maybe you feel the body sway around a little bit. That's all good. And then we're going to come into the center of our mats. We're going to do one more balance. We've done a balance which was down on the mat. And now we're going to do tree pose. So have your feet about hip width apart. Don't know why I did that. Do this if you want. And then you're going to spread out through the left toes. Remember, in tree, the focus is really important, because if you start moving your eyes around, you're going to fall out of it probably. So you've got this option. Left ankle, just on the left toes. You can do this. You can do this. You can bring it on the calf. Avoid this because you don't want it on the outside, inside of your knee. It throws your knee joint out and it gives you knee problems. Or if you want to come all the way up, then you can come here and then you're here. So find an option here, here, or up in the thigh. All right, okay. So left leg, you feel that intention in the left leg. You feel the activation. You find a gaze point just on the floor. Keep the gaze nice and soft. And then from here, maybe lift up the right knee. Place it wherever you want, this foot. I'm going to go high, but you might want to go lower. Bring the hands to heart center. Open the hip out. Find your gaze point and breathe deeply. No need to move the hands. Hands at heart center. Maybe you wobble around a little bit. That's good. And then stay in. If you fall out, just come straight back in. You know, balance is just about practice. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, just drop that right foot down. And then give the legs a shake out. You can give the hands a shake out. And then come to the other side. Be kind to yourself though. Remember, if you're really wobbling, come up against the wall and put your fingertip against the wall. And then you just use the wall as balance. And then you'll be amazed at how your balance improves just over time. So this time, spread out through the right toes as much as you can. Feel that intention through the right leg. So it's nice and strong. And then lift up the left knee this time. Place it wherever you want to go. If you're coming up high like this, you press the foot into the thigh and then the thigh into the foot. And maybe bring the hands to heart center. Breathe deeply. Try and avoid crunching into the right toes. Spread out through the foot. Find your drishti, and your drishti is just gaze point. Breathe deeply. Beautiful, everyone. One more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, slowly release. Bring the left leg down, and then just give it a shake out. Nice, everyone. I used to have a yoga teacher who used to say, the only way to get good at balancing is to balance. So it's practice. You be kind to yourself. Bring the feet hip width apart. Right hand on your heart, stand nice and tall. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. So you just swap hands. A little movement from the hips. Don't think about it too much. Just let the head go with the movement. Bring the hands down a little bit lower. Begin to slow it down. And then bring the palms face forward. And then just stand here. Maybe close the eyes and just take some deep, rich inhales right into the heart center. Use the breath to come back to a nice steady rhythm, but you feel that energy in the body, maybe in the fingertips. Beautiful. Nice work. Come to lie down on your mat. So we'll just come down nice and gently, lying on our mats. And then as you lie down, hug the knees into the chest. And then just rock from side to side. Breathing deeply here. You can always grab around the back of the thighs. You can grab around the shins or the knees. And you want to feel each vertebra of the spine as it presses down into the floor. Shoulders are really relaxed, so try and avoid this when the shoulders lift. Make sure the back of the head is on the floor. And then just begin to circle the hips out. Let's be curious of how the spine feels. Nice. Really nice. From here, lengthen the legs down your mat. And then you want to bring the right arm just out, so it's like a half a T shape, like an L shape, I guess. Palms facing up. And then with the left arm, bring that parallel with the shoulder as well. So now you are in that T shape. And then what you're going to do is, with the left arm, you're going to draw with the fingertips across the chest. You're going to roll onto your right hip, and then you're going to lengthen out down that right arm, and then the left fingers just go beyond the right. And then you roll back all the way, nice and slowly. Lengthen out through the left arm, find that T shape, and then you repeat. So you just bend into the elbow, roll across, the hand comes across the chest, and then you just stretch it out. So feel this stretch into the left-hand side of the body, moving backwards and forwards. Just a nice way just to expand the chest, and then stretch out through the hips. Nice. Do that a couple more times. You kind of just draw it across the body, lengthening the left arm, and then draw back in across the chest, down the right arm. Nice, flowing, simple movements. Here's your last one coming up. Draw across nice and slowly onto the right hip, and then slowly come back to center. Nice. And then we'll just swap it out. So this time, bend into the right arm, and then draw the right fingertips across the chest, and then roll onto the left hip. And then your right fingers just stretch beyond the left. Feel that stretch into the shoulder as well. Draw the hand all the way back along the arm, around the chest. Lengthen it out, you're back on your back. And then keep moving like that. Nice full deep inhales. And then full rich exhales. Just moving at your own pace, in your own way. Do 2 more complete rounds. Be curious where you feel this activation. Now I'm going to go through my final one. And then eventually, you're just going to come where both arms are parallel with the shoulders in that big T shape, and the palms are face up. Nice. And then just let the body sink down into the floor here. Take some long, deep inhales and some full exhales. Just feel the body at rest. No holding, no gripping. Bask in the glory that you don't have anything to do right now. You're just feeling the body at rest. Nice. And then from here, bring the arms up and then stretch them over the head. So you bring yourself into a really long version of yourself. Stretch out through the feet, stretch out through the arms. Imagine, well, you don't have to imagine, just drag your fingernails just away from you. You feel this beautiful stretch all the way down through the front of the body, into the shoulders, And then as you exhale, bend the knees in and then bring the hands up and then grab around the back of the thighs or around the knees. And then this time, maybe just rock out from side to side. Beautiful. And then let's just come into a brief Shavasana. So if you need a blanket, feel free. You've got one at home. You want to put some socks on. Get really comfortable here. That's what I'm going to do. Just letting all of the amazing work you've done integrate into the body. We won't be here for long, so get yourself comfortable. Palms are face up, feet fall open. And then here, when you're ready, just begin to bring a little bit of movement back into the body, preparing yourself to come back to that seated position. Maybe wriggle out through the fingers and the toes. You can always bend the knees back into the chest, hug the knees in, and then roll over to one side, press into the top arm, and then come all the way back to a seated position. Take your time to do this. I'm just going to remove my blanket. If you want to keep your blanket around your shoulders, then feel free to do that. And then come back to a seated position where we started the class nearly 45 minutes ago now. Nice, everyone. Beautiful. Find that length back into the spine and then bring the hands to heart center. Maybe close the eyes. Notice the effects of your practice. And then at this point, just appreciate yourself fully. Appreciate everything you do for yourself. And then with a wholehearted bow, namaste. Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much for joining this afternoon. It's lovely to spend time with you all. Remember, with your yoga practice, you come back to it time and time again. There's so many recorded videos here. You know, you can go online. There's some amazing teachers out there. Yoga with Adrienne, yoga with Cassandra, American yoga teachers, got thousands or millions of followers. They're really good to kind of good fun. Cassandra's more yin and Adrienne is more flow. So over the Christmas period, just dip in and out. Remember, if you do 5 minutes of yoga a day, it's an amazing thing to do. If you just roll your mat out and lie on it, that's a yoga practice. Do some right nostril breathing. You know, if you want to energize yourself, do alternate nostril breathing. If you want to bring balance into your life, you will probably feel overwhelmed at some point over Christmas. And remember, your yoga always brings you back to balance. So remember, try not to just miss it out. Oh, I'm not going to do yoga for 2 weeks. Regular, steady practice. It builds so much and it can be so beneficial to you. So try and jump onto your mat every day or every opportunity you get, even if you're busy, and it will serve you so well over this holiday period. You might see some recorded videos from me over Christmas. If not, have a beautiful Christmas. Look after yourselves. Don't eat too much. Don't drink too much. If you want to, you can if you want. Who am I to tell you not to? And I'll see you in the new year. Namaste, everybody. Take care. Loads of love, loads of blessings. I'll see you soon. Cheers.